All right. Welcome back to the Know Your Numbers REI podcast. This is your host, Chris McCormack, CPA, certified tax planner, and MBA in accounting, helping you with your tax and accounting needs for all things real estate. Now, when I say real estate, I don't mean just every real estate investor or anybody pursuing real estate. I really mean anybody who is looking at real estate as a potential for tax savings and tax avoidance, right? We know that real estate is a great opportunity to save on taxes, but too many people don't know the ins and outs. But today's episode will be on what to look for in an accountant, because we know that a lot of people know or have heard from guys like Robert Kiyosaki or maybe Dave Ramsey or various experts, people out there in the money and finance space about the power of real estate and how it can be used to avoid on taxes, but you haven't had these intelligent conversations with your accountant and it's got you frustrated, and now you are looking for a new one. And so today, really the goal of this conversation is to give you an idea of what to look for in an accountant, right? There's obviously different people operate in different ways, and certain accountants practice and specialize in certain things. And today we're really looking at what you should be looking for out of all the options out there, what you should look for when considering who to make these decisions with, because that's really what your accountant should be doing, is helping you make these decisions, have confidence in your decisions so that you're not left in the dark. Before we get started, I'd like to just give a quick reminder that if you get any sort of value out of this, if you know of anybody who might find this useful, who might be frustrated with their tax situation, maybe they're making a lot of money and are upset with how little they're keeping, then go ahead and share it with them. And if you don't have anybody to share it with, we'd obviously love and appreciate 5-star rating and review, as well as a written review if you're listening on iTunes and Apple. So with all that in mind, let's get to it. What to look for in an accountant when you're looking to save on taxes. The first thing we point to is expertise. If you are familiar with our show, we often compare the accounting and finance space in general to the medical practice. And we know that when you're in the medical practice, you can go to a general practitioner or you can go to a more developed specialist, right? We go to general practitioners for our annual checkups. And if anything serious comes about, or they might want us to look further into something, they will most likely send us to a more specialized professional. And that specialized professional has a certain expertise that the general practitioner doesn't have. So in this case, your general practitioner is somebody who's been preparing your taxes, but hasn't worked with you year round, or maybe they don't have a real estate or small business specialization, a focus on that. They'll take on anybody and everybody, the people who have the W-2 jobs, the people who have the small businesses, but they're not proactively planning. They're preparing the taxes, and that's about as far as they go. But when you get into these specific industries like real estate or small business, and you need more advanced strategies, it helps to have an expert. Now, we here at Better Books obviously focus specifically on real estate. We are looking to help investors and business owners who are looking to use real estate to mitigate their tax risk, right? We know that taxes are required if you're a citizen of the US, and even if you're not a citizen, if you're making money in the US. But we also know that there's strategies that can be implemented for those people who are looking to mitigate that risk. So taxes have a risk involved. The risk is that you put too much money in the tax bucket or pay too much money in taxes, and you're losing out on what that money can make in your business or in your investments. And therefore, we know that by having an expertise, by working with an expert, by working with a specialist, you are able to mitigate that tax risk, and it results in you having more money in your pocket and being able to reinvest that money in the business if that's what you see fit, or maybe even in your family. Maybe you get to take that vacation that you so wish to have taken, but it only comes with working with a specialist. So expertise is first and foremost. Year-round advice would be the second piece that I would recommend you look for. Like I said, the people who are doing the preparation and preparation only, they're taking on everybody. They're not working with you year round. They're preparing in the months January through April. They might take a vacation in the summer, and then they're preparing for those that are on extensions in the months of August, September, and October, right? A lot of people these days, especially after 2020 and the pandemic and the way that the economy shifted, they have now seen that they would rather go on extension and have the peace of mind in January through April, but then it's the same rush to get it done in October. And these general practitioners are really working to prepare taxes all year round. So if you're not with somebody who's working year round for you, they're your advocate and your advisor, as opposed to the one who's preparing your taxes and telling you what you owe, then you're going to owe more money, right? Year-round advice results in less money paid to the US government. It results in more advanced tax strategies. It results in confidence in your decisions so that you can now go and do those things that you dreamed of. I mentioned the vacation. We recently had a client who has worked with us since January of this year. And because of the way that we planned and prepared his taxes, he is now able to go and vacation in South America and Europe. And it's only because he has freed up money and has the ability to now live the life of his dreams with his family, with his wife, with his kids. And it's because he is mitigating that risk of overpaying on taxes and can now use the money saved to invest in his lifestyle, right? It doesn't have to be your business. It depends on what you consider to be the most important thing for you to invest in. It could be you want to put more money in the stocks. It could be you want to put more money in crypto. It could be you want to take a vacation. It could be you want to reinvest in your business. Whatever it is, having year-round tax planning helps you make those decisions, helps you free up that capital so you can have confidence in those decisions and you don't have to worry about, oh, can I put this money in the stocks? Am I going to have to go and sell those stocks 6 months later because the tax bill is too high? The next piece of advice I would give you is looking for similar people. Ask them who they work with. Ask them who you remind them of, right? We go to Amazon and before we purchase a product, we look at what the customers said, right? Before buying that book, I wanted to see what other people had to say. Now, were there negative reviews? Absolutely. There's going to be those one-off reviews, but most of the people had high praise and high reviews for the book. And it gave me confidence in that author and in the words that are going to be on that page. And so I went forward with the decision. One thing that I recommend you look for in an accountant is experience with people in your situation, right? We know that everybody's situation is different. Your goals are different than the other person's goals, right? We have people that are just getting started in real estate. We have people that are 25 years old and have massive portfolios. We have people that are 55 years old and are looking to use short-term rentals to save for retirement and to live off in retirement, right? Your goals are different. But if you are working with somebody who has experience with somebody at least somewhat similar to your position, whether it's the same industry, whether it's the same period of life, whether it's the same occupation, like you want to make sure that your professional has experience that they're coming with that will give you the confidence that they can work with you and your unique experience. So I think the way that you come about that is a good CPA, a good tax planning professional will have testimonials. So they'll tell you that you remind them of someone. And this gives you the confidence. Now, we've had people ask us if they can speak to our clients to know that we can deliver. And unfortunately, that's not allowed by law. Like you can't give out your client information. But if your accountant has quality relationships with their clients, then there's a good chance they either have testimonials on their webpage or they're sharing this information with you. They share the stories of Joe Schmo, who was able to save $50,000 because he reinvested in his real estate portfolio. So if you go and ask your tax professional or the person that you're wanting to be your tax professional for their client's information and they say no, don't see that as a red flag. Say, have you helped anybody that reminds you of me? Or have you helped anybody who's in a similar position to me? Because accountants are barred by Circular 230 and have a responsibility to their clients to keep their information confidential. And the good accountants will do that. The good accountants will keep their clients' information confidential, but they'll also back up what they're doing with testimonials. I know we at Better Books have testimonials from our clients, and all those clients have given us the okay to use those testimonials, as opposed to a prospect coming and saying, hey, which of your clients can I talk to? Can I call them up? We are not allowed to give out phone numbers or addresses or any of that information. And so we combat this and still show the review of our happy clients to help give our prospects or customers who want to come to us a greater confidence in our ability to deliver. And the last thing which ties in nicely to this last thing of what to look for in an accountant is ethics and morality, right? You want to have an accountant who is working inside the lines. You know, taxes are required by law and they're very regulated. And so if your accountant is willing to go against the law in one area of their life or in one thing on your business, then who's to say they're not going to do it in a larger area? And that just compounds and builds on itself. So if you're looking for an accountant and you can tell that he's not ethical or moral, or he's telling you to do things that you know to be illegal, then that's a red flag and it's time to look for someone new. On the other hand, if you know that somebody's moral and ethical and follows the law, then that's a good indicator that they're going to be a good accountant. However, some accountants do this to the other side of the spectrum, where they are too caught up in the law that they're not willing to do things that are legal, but they don't have the confidence or the law to back it up, right? So our tax plans are always backed up by court cases or the Internal Revenue Code or the IRS frequently asked questions, where the IRS has given guidance and it's shown in the court cases that this is legal, you can do it. And that's very unique. I don't know of a lot of accountants that are doing that, but you want to at least find an accountant that is willing to stay within the lines, but also think outside the box that still remains within the lines so that you can save on taxes. Because a lot of these tax saving strategies do require creativity. And if you're not working with a creative tax planner, then you're going to be paying too much in taxes. But if you're working with an immoral and illegal tax planner or CPA, then you're going to have worse problems than just the big taxes that can result in obviously greater taxes, greater fines, and worst of all, jail time. So the 4 things to look for when looking for an accountant: expertise, right? We want you to focus on the specialized surgeon as opposed to the general practitioner. What I mean by that is you want to be working with somebody who has experience with your unique situation. Whether you're a dentist, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a real estate investor, whether you're a small business owner, you want to make sure that who you are working with has a specific focus on your situation. Second thing to look for when considering an accountant is year-round advice. There's no need for you to be going to your CPA or tax preparer once a year. There is a need to go to your CPA or tax planner 4 times a year at a minimum to discuss what changes you're making, what your goals are, what challenges are you having. And this is done by having a year-round advisor, an advocate who knows your unique situation and can help you make specific decisions towards your goals. Third piece of advice when looking for an accountant would be public persona. You want to make sure that they have worked with people and that those people are happy about their experience, whether it's Google reviews, whether it's testimonials on their website, whether it's written reviews on their website, whether it's Facebook reviews on their Facebook page. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that it's backed up and they've worked with people like you, right? We have a lot of people in the real estate industry that have similar, although not the same idea or approach to their investing. And we use those stories to help give our prospects and clients confidence in what we're advising them on. Because when you have that backup, when you have that evidence of experience, you're more likely to make the right decision, which would be to go forward and save on taxes, right? And so you want to make sure that your accountant, your tax planner has experience with people and that they're happy with their experience. And then lastly is the ethics and the morality. You want to make sure that they're doing what is legal, but they're not being bound by legality to make the wrong decision, right? Everything we do is within legal bounds, but there are also creative tax strategies that not all tax preparers or tax planners are willing to implement. So expertise, year-round advice, testimonials, and ethics and morality. I encourage you to do your search, think of these things, and let us know if you have any questions. Obviously, we're taking on new clients and we'd be happy to help you if you're struggling to find the right advisor. If you lack confidence in your tax planner or even your tax strategy, we'd be happy to help and are more than willing to. We appreciate you listening in and look forward to hearing from you soon.